One of the hardest parts of being a landlord is knowing the difference between normal wear and tear and actual tenant damage. The line can feel blurry, but understanding it is critical. It's the difference between using a tenant's deposit legally or eating the cost yourself. In Kansas City, and really anywhere, landlords are required to keep properties in a livable condition, but tenants are expected to take reasonable care of the home. What often trips people up is knowing what counts as reasonable. Normal wear and tear is the slow, natural aging of a property. Think faded paint, worn carpet in high-traffic areas, minor nail holes from hanging pictures, or appliances showing their age after years of use. That's life in a property. No tenant should be charged for things that happen simply because the property was occupied. Damage, on the other hand, is when a tenant goes beyond normal use. A door kicked in, carpet destroyed by pet, urine, walls with large holes, appliances broken by negligence, not age. Those things are chargeable, and that's where deposits come into play. The trick is documenting everything. Before a tenant moves in, you should have detailed photos and a signed condition report. At Alpine Property Management Kansas City, we handle this step carefully because it's the foundation for everything that follows. Without it, you have no proof of what the property looked like before. And when a tenant moves out, you can't just rely on memory. You need evidence. With proper documentation, you protect yourself and keep disputes from escalating. Another challenge is consistency. One landlord might consider a scuffed wall wear and tear, while another calls it damage. Courts don't care about your personal definition. They care about standards. And Kansas City judges have seen every story. If you're too aggressive, you risk losing in court and paying back the deposit plus penalties. At Alpine, we follow strict guidelines that line up with state expectations, so our landlords don't find themselves on the wrong side of a legal argument. Something else to keep in mind is materials. Cheap carpet will show wear faster. Low-quality paint will scuff easier. Appliances at the end of their lifespan will fail no matter how careful tenants are. If you upgrade materials when you rehab a property, you cut down on disputes later. Better flooring, durable paint, and reliable appliances make it easier to argue when damage is truly damage. That's another area where Alpine advises our clients. Spending a little more upfront can save a lot in tenant turnover costs. Pet damage is a whole separate category. Scratched floors, urine-soaked carpet, chewed trim, these aren't wear and tear. They're preventable and chargeable to the tenant. But again, you have to set the right rules up front, take deposits, and enforce them fairly. At Alpine, we handle pet screenings and additional deposits so owners aren't blindsided by what pets can do to a property. One mistake landlords make is treating everything as damage just to keep the deposit. That's short-term thinking, and it leads to long-term headaches. Tenants talk. Reviews matter. A reputation for being unfair will hurt your ability to attract good tenants later. The goal isn't to squeeze tenants, it's to be fair, consistent, and legal. That keeps your business running smoothly. Now, what happens when a property suffers more than just minor damage? Sometimes tenants leave behind a disaster. Holes in the walls, broken windows, trashed kitchens. In those cases, deposits won't cover the cost. Landlords either eat the loss, pursue collections, or, if the damage is severe, rethink whether the property is even worth saving. This is where Alpine Property Management Kansas City can step in beyond just management. We also buy houses directly from landlords, as is. If you're tired of repairs, tired of chasing tenants, or staring at a property that feels like a money pit, we'll make you an offer. No agents, no repairs, no showings, just a clean break so you can move on or reinvest into something better. At the end of the day, knowing the difference between normal wear and tear and tenant damage isn't just about money. It's about running your rentals like a business. With clear rules, strong documentation, and consistent enforcement, you stay out of court, protect your investments, and keep your portfolio healthy. And with Alpine Property Management Kansas City in your corner, you don't have to guess where the line is. We make sure it's drawn clearly and followed every time. If this helped you think differently about tenant damage and wear and tear, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more insights. And when you're ready to protect your investments and simplify your management, call Alpine Property Management, Kansas City. We'll help you focus on growth, not headaches.